Hardcore 1964 here, with talking about races taking place split into day on Monday through to Sunday. Hopefully this time Monday I have to get a recording done. I tried for last week and found out after completing what I thought I was recording, found out my mic had failed after the first third of the recording. Hadn't realised until afterwards. I thought I'd do it the next day because there was no races qualifying early in the week. I went to the power cut. So anyway, we will start with a race at Carlisle. And my cut-off normally for races, unless it's an interesting race, just an interesting name or a memorial for somebody, is £10,000 to the winner. And it just qualifies at Carlisle. It's a staying chase qualifier, and it's over 3 miles and half, a furlong. The next day at Newbury, another slightly viable race, and this time it's a handicap chase, another Class B race here, over 2 miles 7 furlongs and 91 yards. Wednesday at Ludlow, firstly very long running, Prince of Wales Amateur Jockeys Handicap Steeplechase for Prince of Wales Challenge Trophy, over 2 miles 7 furlongs 171 yards. That race has been run since 1995. Well, strangely, it was the first time it was on 95. It was the Prince and Princess of Wales Challenge Trophy. I was looking up when they separated. This is, of course, Diane Charles, not Kate and William. And it was run for. Then the next year, it changed solely to be the Prince of Wales Challenge Trophy. So I don't know why 95. I did check this, and we announced the separation 3 years earlier. So it was rather strange to name a race after both of them, perhaps, and then next year only after one of them. Also have a Michael Lumsden Memorial Handicap Hurdle over 1 mile 7 furlongs 169 yards. And Michael Lumsden was always known as Captain Lumsden, according to his son on a website. Looking up who Michael Lumsden might be. And on the website I've not really been to, Shoot Hub. I have to say shooting isn't really my scene. And it's his son Charles has written some information up there about his father and his connection with Henley Hall. And in fact, when I was looking up this on the Racing Post website, the Henley Hall Gold Cup was run since 1995, and then in 2013 was then also named after Michael Lumsden Memorial Race. And then, since about 2017, though, it's actually just been named after Michael Lumsden and not after Henley Hall. First at Sandown, we have the Ben Wilson Memorial Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle, 2 miles 7 furlongs at 216 yards, so fraction, only 4 yards short of 2 miles. It's the first time it's been run, so sadly obviously Ben Wilson's died recently. I can't find any information about him though. And also the David J. Roberts Memorial National Hunt Novices Hurdle Race over exactly the same distance. This again appears to be a new race, and I haven't found any information about who Mr. Roberts might have been. We also have, on the same day, at Esher Course, another long-running memorial race, the Annenbrook Handicap Steeplechase, 2 miles 4 furlongs 15 yards, and this almost certainly is named after Alan Brooke. 2 words, rather strangely though, when he became a lord, it came round called Alan Brooke, 1 word. I'm not quite sure how that was done. It's a bit strange. He was chief of the Imperial General Staff in 1941 and 1946, obviously an important role during the Second World War for the United Kingdom. So this race has been run since 1995. And you also have a very well-known Royal Artillery Gold Cup over 3 miles and 42 yards. This race first ran in 1863. I saw it once back in February 2018. A great privilege of watching the legendary Guy Disney win the race. If you don't know, Guy Disney lost his leg if you don't know, a grenade took off basically Guy Disney's leg when he was serving in Afghanistan. He ended up with an artificial leg and amazingly won the race, and it was a great privilege just to see him win the race and cheer him into winner's enclosure. A great hero to everybody, I believe. Friday at Exeter, we have the Devon Nationals. So this race last year, as I've said in a few videos, I'm a great fan of my regional nationals, and my race is 3 miles 6 furlongs and 153 yards. Also have a mare's listed steeplechase over 3 miles and 54 yards. We also have the Bev, Margaret and Iris Bond Memorial Limited Handicap Steeplechase over 3 miles and 54 yards. This again appears to be a new race. So a race meeting in the news recently for Southwell, I'll call it Southwell not Southwell, meeting with 5 major races taking place there. The 6 furlong 16 yard handicap, a 1 mile 14 yard handicap, the Road to Chelmsford Novice Stakes, 1 mile 4 furlongs 15 yards, another handicap over fractionally under 5 furlongs, and the final handicap of 7 furlongs to 14 yards. And obviously the possible appearance of Constitution Hill in the race at Southwell is a contention here. The mile and a half race. The question is, of course, the mile and a half race road to Cheltenham is where he's supposed to be running. However, will he? And it's not that Hensey doesn't want to run him, but he's got too many entries, and he needs horses to pull out to get guarantee a run. A bit of a cock up here. I was surprised to find out BHA had actually put race on for him. I didn't realise this. I just thought there was a valid meeting at Southwell, which has happened in recent years actually, and the other races, quite a few valuable ones there as well. And I think it's just a cop. I mean, why on earth did just not run him over a mile and a half race and not see a less valuable race, just not bring one in? I think it may be a possibly old petard here, BHA, and maybe also Nicky Henderson. I was thinking here, it's not the only time a hurdle contenders had a race put on for them. In '97, at the not greatly missed in my view Toaster racecourse, who only went once. It's not the greatest racecourse in my view, and one of the only reasons I know about it is this race '97 where Collier Bay and Wellkiel were both looking to get coming back from injury, get a race in, and they basically a race was hurdle race put on at Toaster for them, and a Scottish Feig, a horse that followed off a cliff a few years later, really, rather a bit of a rogue horse, I would say. But 3 of them all round, Collier Bay beating Wellkiel with Scottish Feig back in third. But why on earth you need such a valuable flat with Constitution Hill, when really all he'd done is encourage other people to run against him? And Newcastle, the only race I noted, was a very decent race indeed historically. The Ida Chase, first one in 1952, saw this a couple of times, and the Ida is effectively, it's sort of, we call it the Newcastle Racecourse National, really. That's over 4 miles, 1 furlong and 56 yards. Also at Kempton we have the long-running Chelmsford Festival Trials meeting, a number of interesting races. We have a handicap hurdle over 2 miles, 5 furlongs exactly. The long-running Adonis Juvenile Hurdle over 2 miles. I'm trying to remember if that was that first one at Hurst Park or something. It sort of came in, I think, maybe when Hurst Park closed. I remember reading when I was doing something about racing that period, and I think it was being brought... Oh, that was it. It was on a Triumph Hurdle was moved from Hurst Park to Cheltenham, which in terms of April meeting originally, and then switched to the Cheltenham Festival as it is now. There was talk of a new major hurdle race at Kempton in the mid-60s, and that would have been the Adonis Hurdle. Pendle Novice and Steeplechase over a great Pendle, one best horse not to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup, King George winner, and a very, very good horse indeed. 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. Dovecote Novices Hurdle Race, the third of a grade 2 on the day, again exactly 2 miles. The Ladbrokes Handicap Trophy, I sort of still remember the Racing Post Chase. It gives me a name to remember it by when the sponsor changes. That's over exactly 3 miles. Just the Orchids win in 1990, perhaps the highlight of its long-running career. We have a Handicap Steeplechase over 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. Meanwhile, at Lingfield, we have the Winter Derby, Group 3 flat race, 4 miles, 2 furlongs, 1 yard, and the Listed Heaver Sprint Stakes, over 5 furlongs and 6 yards. I was going to talk in an earlier video about confusion I have over whether Winter Derby, whether I saw it or not. Well, I did see it, but whether the new Tanbridge Stakes is actually a renaming of that race or a new race, and annoyingly I think it's a new race, which means I have to go and see it as I've gone trying to get through all the listed races. Whether the trial race for Winter Derby, only then to find it was taken off the schedule, and I thought to be renamed as Tanbridge, but I think it's now actually a new race. And you also have a handicap over just over 1.5 miles. Similar at Chepstow, a couple of decent races. We've got a qualifier for 10th final at Chelmsford Festival, over 2 miles, 7 furlongs, 151 yards. I'd say it's quite low prize money, but it's a decent race. It's quite low prize money for qualifier for 10th in my view. And then the same company sponsoring a handicap steeplechase over 2 miles and 16 yards. Then, the worst racecourse in Britain in my view, Chelmsford City, on the same day, has a handicap over 5 furlongs. And finally, at Fontwell, you have the Longwood National Spirit Hurdle, which is the start of the 2 mile race, disappeared off and came back as around about 2.5. Has come back as it is now at 2 miles, 3 furlongs, 29 yards. Then after National Spirit, dual champion hurdle winner, and a horse who actually won the Wank Chance Cup at Fontwell 3 times, which is why the race is named after him at Fontwell. 2 final races to note here. The Barry Dennis Trophy, named after a former bookmaker who died not too long ago, and that's over 2 miles, 5 furlongs, 164 yards. And the Novices Handicap Steeplechase, named after a very well-known former top-quality jockey event trainer, Josh Gifford, and that's 3 miles, 1 furlong, 210 yards.